All right, today we're going to do the easy tense. I keep saying that about every tense, but this one's pretty easy because you only use 3 different pronouns. It is called the imperatif. It is the command or advice tense. Command or advice. In other words, you're going to, I can't spell. You're going to use this to either command somebody or give advice. And what's really cool about this tense, you simply use the to form of the verb, the vous form of the verb, and the nous form of the verb. But you actually do not use them in your sentence structure. So the command is like stop or eat it, or go home, or why can't I think right now? Okay, we'll just keep going. So that is commanding or advising, and in English we don't say you stop, or hey you, I'm talking to you, eat it. We simply look at the person and say eat it, or we look at the person and say stop. Or go home. So in French, we have to actually figure out what the pronoun is first so that we can then conjugate it, which is the hard part. So if I was to command a student in class, one student, I'm going to use the to form. I'm commanding one you. And I'm going to conjugate my verb, but I'm not going to use the to. I just used it to conjugate, if that makes sense. So let's say eat. So you got a little baby and they're not eating and you keep saying eat, eat, eat. So you're going to command them to eat. If they're ER verbs, you're going to conjugate it like normal, except if it's an ER verb in the to form, you're going to drop that S. Why? For pronunciation purposes and just because the French are crazy. So I'm going to command that little girl to eat. So I'm going to remove that S because it is an ER verb and the French are weird and we have to just drop that S. You never have an S there for the to form. Let's say I want to command a bunch of people to eat, or I want to be polite about it. So the vous form is going to be for plural people, or just saying it because you want to be polite. So I'm going to conjugate it the same way for my vous, but I'm not going to write it, but I'm going to say manger. You conjugated it for the vous, and I can command several you peoples. Or I could command people in the nous form, which is basically us. That includes you. So whatever you're commanding includes you. So if I wanted to command somebody, including myself, to eat, I would say, let's all eat. So in English, we would have to say, because we don't have the same sentence structure, let's eat. Anytime you see let's, you're going to know it's new. It's definitely new because the let's indicates it's us, we, plus myself is included. And then I'm just going to conjugate it in the new form, nothing special, unless the verb is special. And we know GER verbs are special. And that's pretty much it. Now, of course, we've got irregular and we have negative. So if I was to say don't do those things, we're going to say and put the ne pas around the verb, but of course not saying the pronoun. So if I wanted to command a bunch of, or just one person, I want to command you, one person, and I want to say don't touch. So in French or in English, you're going to hear don't and then the command. But the French are going to put the ne pas around the verb command. And here, what did we do? We dropped that S because it is an ER verb and the French are weird. So only do that in the to. So that would be to. If I want to I want to use the don't command with vous, same thing. I would put my ne, conjugate my verb. So let's say don't listen. We'll go écoute. We're going to command a bunch of people. Don't listen. N'écoutez pas, but of course we've got a little vowel problem here, so we got to go bloop, 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 bloop. Do you like my sound effects? Okay. N'écoutez pas. And then if we want to command the new, so a bunch of people, including me, then we're going to do n'écoutons pas. Let's not listen. I don't know why we would say that, but definitely always thinking the new you see in English, let's, because that includes you. So I noticed I had to do an apostrophe because of the vowel, and I put my ne pas around. So that's the negative. And let's look at some irregular verbs. I'm only going to give you two because you can always Google them. Just check to make sure that the verb isn't irregular, like faire is irregular, so you would want to use the irregular form of those three pronouns. But avoir and être are just really irregular. So avoir, the three commands for the tu, the vous, and the nous. Again, you would conjugate it, but not use it in the command. You would say have, I. Ooh, that's a good one. Aye, and aillon. So that is the avoir. Really strange sounds there, I know. And the pronunciation is I, and aillon. And that is have. So you could command typically somebody have a piece of chocolate or have some ice cream. And the negative would be the N apostrophe around it. Don't have. Okay? And then être is going to be soit, soyez, and soyons. Same thing. It's an irregular verb. And so to command somebody, you would say be, let's be. Let's be nice. Let's be good. Be careful. So you're going to use that for your command. And then the last thing we're going to look at is if you use a command, but it has a pronoun with it, which happens a lot, because if I wanted to say, eat the pizza with a pronoun. So we're talking reflexive, DOPs, IOPs, those are direct objects and so forth. So let's say, in English, we would say, eat the pizza. I'm commanding you. Eat it. Eat it now. So in French, who am I commanding? I'm commanding one person. So I'm going to say in French, mange. It's an ER verb. So I'm going to drop that S for the tu, and I'm going to write mange la pizza. If I wanted to replace pizza with it, so say I've already said the command over and over, eat the pizza, but now I want to say eat it. In French, I would replace this, which will be our next units in a couple weeks, and it would be mange la. So if you have a pronoun, it's going to go in the same spot it would go, which is after. It looks so strange like that. But you could also do it with reflexive verbs. So if you wanted to say wash your hands, lave tes mains, then if you wanted to say wash them, you would replace this with lay, and then you would add it after that, lave lay. But obviously this is a little bit more in depth, but it will come up a little bit. That's pretty much it. The only thing is I did want to mention if it's a negative with a pronoun, then it's going to go back to the ne, and then the mange, and then the pas, and then you're going to put this pronoun in front. It does swim back to the front, and that's really complicated. Don't eat it. Ne la mange pas. But again, this won't come up too much, but just so that you have that in your notes. And that's it for commands. Today we're going to work on some command forms. So let's go right into it. I'm going to ask you to command these to your neighbor, and then they have to do the actual command. So we'll start off with sing. So go ahead and write the command for vous, and then tell two people to sing, and then you start singing. Okay, and then if you could do, let's do speak softly. And let's command 2 on that one. And then this one, let's say don't wait. And then you're going to command VU on this one. And then let's go dance. And let's command let's dance. Let's do all of us. Let's do new. Okay, I'll try those.